Okay. Well, I watched as I was growing up in the investment business, I watched open source evolve as a thing. And in our world, in the traditional financial world at the time, it was very difficult for people to understand what the heck is this? Because, of course, all of our companies are earning profits, and that's it. Our projections are all around profitability, and that they just couldn't even fathom. And when I decided that I needed to get out of that world, and it wasn't for that reason, but there was groupthink. There was, everyone doing things the same way, benchmark sensitivity, letting others determine with benchmarks what would go into a portfolio. I said, I am out and need to start a company that will be much more open to ideas from the rest of the world, and a company focused only on disruptive innovation, which because of the tech and telecom bust, and even more so after 0809, nobody really wanted to go there anymore. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but not too much of an exaggeration. And I decided that inspired by the open source movement, watching what had happened with the Linux Foundation, how that was, that really led to the boom in data centers that we have now, which has enabled AI and all of that. I said, how could we adopt that to ARC? And so we open sourced our research ecosystem, which again, in the rest of the world, people thought was nuts. Like, why are you giving your secret sauce away, your research? That might have been a good question when I started in the business, late 70s, early 80s, when information was very difficult to get, very expensive to get. And, the secret sauce was, okay, how can we gather this information? Now information is prolific. And the question is, how do you pull it all together? So we give our research away and we get so much more back from that. We get information, not inside information. We get information from, developers, people out there innovating. They want us to be successful. We're sizing markets and helping them. They're helping us battle test our assumptions. So the give and take is phenomenal, so much better than I ever dreamed. So I've seen open source work. I mentioned Linux and all of the other open source strategies. And Bitcoin was very natural, therefore, for me and us as we were looking at this new technology, this new monetary system. It was a natural. It was a beautiful thing, and we embraced it very early. Gave our clients their first exposure to Bitcoin in 2015. Fast forward to today, and it is interesting. We're doing Bitcoin Brainstorm this week when there's been all this drama around OpenAI. And we've been focused on AI, open source versus closed ecosystems, and we're measuring the progress of each. We're putting out some great charts in our Big Ideas 2024. And what we're noticing in this world of generative AI and large language models, the closed ecosystem is moving forward very rapidly, but the open source ecosystem is moving ahead even more rapidly. Now, open source in terms of performance in generative AI, large language models, is behind GPT-4, but its rate of improvement is faster than the closed ecosystem. So watching the drama around OpenAI, and love to open this up and hear what everybody thinks, just what reinforced my conviction is, how can we let this centralized group of individuals with these egos that clearly almost blew this thing up and maybe in many ways has blown it up, how can we let that group, and now they're all back together, maybe, it's like so unstable. And as Yassine mentioned in the early days, when I tried to explain to people why I loved open source, I said, look, it's like a giant neighborhood watch. Why are everyone's watching it? It might involve their livelihoods. It might involve their reputations. But they all have this common interest. And the decentralization is a beautiful thing. You don't get into, you get some skirmishes, but nothing like we just saw at OpenAI. So I'd love to actually, since that has just happened, just get everybody else's point of view on what they think is going to happen now in the AI realm. And then maybe, of course, we'll go directly into Bitcoin.
Hey there, Money Talkers. Money Talks in the house, and we've got a crypto double feature today. ARK Invest Cathie Wood is doing some serious portfolio gymnastics, and Elon Musk, well, he's taking another swing at the crypto world. Hold onto your wallets, crypto enthusiasts. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest is making waves in the crypto sea. While Cathie remains bullish on Bitcoin, ARK Invest is doing a little dance with Coinbase, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, and even Robinhood. They've offloaded over 335,000 Coinbase shares, worth a whopping $49 million. And that's not all. GPT shares are also getting the boot. It's a crypto shuffle like never before. Is Cathie playing it safe or cooking up a master plan? The market's buzzing, and we're here for the show. All along, our favorite crypto Twitter maestro took a swing at the classic "not your keys, not your wallet" mantra. But here's the plot twist, he whiffed. In response to Jack Dorsey's BitKey announcement, Ellen dropped the line all wrong. Crypto Twitter didn't miss a beat, and the memes are pouring in. It's a classic case of if you can't bit them, coin them. Elon, the crypto world's watching, and they've got their popcorn ready for your next move. And there you have it, finance fanatics. ARK Invest crypto shuffle and Elon's crypto blunder. It's a wild ride in the financial amusement park. What do you think about Cathie's moves? Did Elon swing and miss, or is he gearing up for a crypto grand slam? Let's continue our discussion with Cathie Wood.
Serious damage to certainly disruptive innovation stocks, which, maybe they are in early stages, they're investing aggressively, not making huge profits, but are going to capitalize on tremendous opportunities. In 2021, just the thought of higher interest rates, and then in 2022, the reality of higher interest rates absolutely smashed that part of the market. In fact, all long-duration assets were punished. Long-term bonds had their worst 2-year period since the 1700s. So really bad time for long duration. And what's happening now is, despite what the Fed says, higher for longer, we could take rates higher, the market is saying, no, there's enough evidence out there that the economy is weakening, and more important, that inflation is coming down and is probably not going to stop at 2%. Why? Partly because of what you said, Andreas, which is the quantitative tightening is still in full force, and M2 growth on a year-over-year basis is negative and has been negative all year. So I have a feeling we're going to continue in the rolling recession that we've been in over the last 2 years. And many people say, what? Well, here in the United States, when I say that, housing sales are down by some measures 40%. Auto sales are in recession territory. Non-residential commercial real estate, especially office, and this is true around the world because of hybrid, is melting down. And so one sector after another, capital spending is now starting to give way. Why? Because companies are losing their pricing power that held up profits. Now they're going to have to cut costs. And I do believe that will mean employment. So it will be obvious the economy is weakening, especially as unemployment rate goes up, and prices coming down. We think below 2% at some point during the next 6 months is going to ring the bell for interest rate cuts, and that's what I think the market is sensing now, and it's beginning to discount it. I understand why the closed ecosystem is working right now in this realm. in generative AI. Open source is moving faster. The reason they say they went for profit, at least capped for profit, was GPUs and costs like that. What's the analogy here? First of all, do you when you say you think closed in that realm is probably going to win, I'm not so sure of that. Maybe I'm just too biased here in terms of how important that movement is too, and how important it is not to let a centralized few dominate, that project. Lisa, if I could, in St. Petersburg, Florida, Pinellas County, we have an innovation center for startups, and we would love to attract, Bitcoin-oriented startups. And we have an education foundation using our research, making it age appropriate. I don't know how young you go, but this could be so important, this gamification way of learning. To, we're in the middle schools now. We'll get into the high schools. The earlier, the better, I would imagine, who could work with you to take ARC's research, make it age appropriate. And the one thing we have not cracked here is Bitcoin yet, because it's pretty daunting to them, right? So it made it age appropriate. These educators are having trouble, getting their heads around. I think they'd love to be at one of those tables too. But we've made it age appropriate, and now it has become the science curriculum throughout the county and public schools.
I love this.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Elon Musk's social media company X has obtained 12 money transmitter licenses across the United States. Furthermore, his artificial intelligence company XAI stated in a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, its intention to raise $1 billion in an equity offering. Farzam Essani, the founder and CDO of the South African crypto exchange VAR, has stated that institutional traders account for the bulk of the African continent's crypto trading volumes. To support this point, Essani referred to VAR's largest volumes, which he said are executed via our API by institutional traders deploying a host of programmatic trading strategies. Crypto exchange Binance has withdrawn its application for a license in Abu Dhabi. When assessing our global licensing needs, we decided this application was not necessary, a Binance spokesperson stated, adding that the company plans to continue to work with regulators to provide world-class services and offerings in the Middle East and beyond. The Indian government has confirmed its commitment to supporting startups that are innovating in the Web3 sector in India. Web3 represents the future of internet, and the government is committed to ensuring that the innovators and innovation from India create the future of Web3 and internet, said the country's Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.